All right, students, here is your quick review of yesterday's lesson on algebraic expressions. I know the green might be a little bit hard for you to read on your screen, so I'll make sure I read them to you. But these are just quick review problems for us to get back into the mindset of this, and then I'll set you free to complete your lesson 7.1. So remember, an algebraic expression is a number sentence or words that do not include an equal sign in it. 7 plus v, or 9 minus w, w plus 25. Any of those are expressions because they don't include an equal sign in them. And so that makes them an algebraic expression. An algebraic expression includes the letter, which we call a variable, in it, and that is what will give you that algebraic expression. Okay, so our number one up here says the sum of 8 and k. So the sum of something, a sum is an answer to an addition problem. So we know we're going to add them. Does it matter which direction we add? Do we add 8 plus k or k plus 8, and does it make a difference? It doesn't, so you can write either. But the sum of 8 and k, written as an algebraic expression, looks like this: 8 plus k, or it could be k plus 8. Either one would be just fine. Our next one, the difference, y less than 10. The difference is an answer to a subtraction problem. So the difference, y less than 10, is going to be a subtraction. Now, does it matter if we do 10 minus y or y minus 10? And yes, it does matter. That makes a difference. So which one are we going to do? Y less than 10. Is y our whole and we're taking 10 away from it? Or is 10 our whole and we're taking y away from it? Look at the words. Y less than 10. So 10 is our whole and we're going to take y away from it. So we would write 10 minus y as our algebraic expression for y less than 10. The next one, the product of g and 7. Product is the answer to an or a multiplication problem. So we need to do g times 7. Now remember, we're not writing an x anymore for a multiplication symbol because that would look like a different variable. So we would write g times 7 with our point or our dot as our multiplication symbol. However, this is not as simple as we can write it, and we want to make sure we write them as simple as we can write it. So remember, with multiplication, we can just get rid of that dot. It doesn't need to be there at all. And then the digit comes first, or the number comes first, followed by the variable. So instead of that, we would write 7g. There's no symbol in there, and that's just fine. If there's no symbol, we remember that it is multiplication. It means to multiply them. So that's as simple as we can write that algebraic expression. Our next one, the quotient of h and 8. A quotient is an answer to a division problem. And then we remember that the first one is always our dividend, and the second one is always our divisor, the one doing the dividing. So the 8 is the part that we want to do it into groups of 8. So we can write h divided by 8, but that's not as simple as we can get here. Our simplest version of this would be, would be h over 8, h eighths. And so this is the answer that you want to give. That's our simplest version of this. H over 8, h divided by 8. Finally, we have a word problem at the bottom here, and it says, Mario collected 3G seashells. Jasmine collected 10 more seashells than Mario. Write the number of seashells they collected together in terms of G. Remember, terms are the different parts of the expression. So up here we have two terms in our expression, 10 and y. Here we have one term. It's 7g. That's one term together. This is one term, h eighths or h over 8. So remember, we're supposed to write it in terms of g. So if it says 3g seashells, then what we really are saying is 3 groups of g seashells, right? 3 times g seashells. So we know Mario collected 3g seashells, and they already wrote that as a term for us. Jasmine collected 10 more seashells than Mario. So are we adding or subtracting to what Mario collected if we're counting them all together? Of course, we're adding. So we're going to start with 3g, and then she did 10 more, so we're going to say 3g plus 10. Now, do we have a label in this story problem? We do, and that's seashells. Now remember, we have an addition problem in here, but both 3g and 10 are going to be labeled seashells. So we're going to put that in parentheses all together and label it seashells. Okay, so that is how we can put all of these things together and then label them seashells. So I'm going to give you the rest of today to finish lesson 7.1, numbers 1 through 11 on page 225. Actually, I think I asked you to do 1 through 10 in the assignment. You're welcome to try 11 if you'd like to, but you do not have to finish 11. So practice 7.1 on page 225, problems 1 through 10 in your math journal. Numbers 1 through 5 you might find pretty simple, but then when you get to 6 through 10 you have to do a couple different steps, and you might have more than one term in there. So just make sure you're writing your terms out really clearly and identifying what they are identifying for you to be ready for that. And submit that, take a picture of it when you finish, and then submit them all together as when you finish all your homework all at one time. And I'll check them over and we'll review them on Monday if we need to. All right, talk to you later. Bye.